Hello again, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Hall County Sports Television. I'm your host, Gary Glenn. We start this week's show with some national championship news. Last week, hundreds of athletes, spectators, and volunteers converged on the Olympic venue off Clarks Bridge Road for the Canoe Kayak Sprint Nationals and Masters National Championships hosted by the Lanier Canoe and Kayak Club, and those visitors brought a lot of money into the Gainesville, Hall County area. Well, as they were there, the spectators and the athletes, they watched, they warmed up, they practiced, and they competed in the various categories of canoe and kayak racing. A lot of relationships, a lot of camaraderie in this sport. Well, the first championship of the meet went to local guy Chris Miller, who stroked his way to a fairly easy win in the 1,000-meter K1 or one-man kayak division. Another gold medal for the ex-Trojan.
Hi, Chris, from North Hall High School.
Oh, yeah.
What got you involved in paddling here?
The youth league. It was the Richardson Racing League before. Now it's turned into the BBI Youth League. And I just started out there with some 6-week, sessions. And then I just moved up and started paddling competitively.
Were you an athlete at North Hall?
Back when I was in elementary school at River Bend, I played basketball, soccer, baseball, but I stopped doing that once I moved into middle school. So
what got back you just the idea to get competitive again? What appealed to you about this?
I was driving over the bridge and I just saw some kids out in a boat and I was like, that looks like fun. I want to get out there and do that.
So now national championship for you.
Yeah.
How was the race today?
It was good. There's a nice tailwind, so I always do better in tailwinds. You got a quick exit, just get the boat moving fast. It's great.
All right, national champion.
Yeah.
How's that feel?
Feels pretty cool. Last year, I also took the 1,000-meter title, and it was good to defend it this year.
Great. All right. And it's good to be with this team, isn't it?
Oh, yes. LCKC, I feel like is the best team. We have the best venue in the nation.
Now, also, homeschooled 16-year-old Riley Bruner of the LCKC put a cap on his meet with a solid win in the C1, a one-man canoe 200-meter juvenile race, but that wasn't his only success of the weekend.
Tell me about the race, Riley. This is a short one. It's a pretty quick thing.
Yeah, I just try to line up to where I sort of aim it towards the left so when I can just start going instead of steering right off. And then it's just pick it up every so often, just go hard all the way through.
Is this your favorite distance, or you got one that you like better?
I really don't have a favorite right now. I just like to try to do them all.
How have you done in this regatta?
Done very well, I think.
What else have you done?
I've done the 1,000 meters in C4, C2, C1, and the 5,000 meters in C1.
Wow.
And some more C2s in 200, so I've done a lot.
You've done a lot. How have you done?
I've done well. I think I've placed in everything I've raced in.
So how did you get involved in this?
About halfway through 6th grade, my mom found it, and I did the BBI program, what it is now. And then I did that for one season of that, and then Kaylin, the developmental coach, asked me to join her group, and I did. And I've just moved up and done very well, I think.
Have you done other sports?
I did some baseball before this, but this is mostly what I've done for the last 4 years.
And you're homeschooled, I understand.
Yeah.
Does that make things easier for you?
Some. I mean,
as far as traveling and so
yeah,
forth, I would
traveling,
imagine.
it makes it a lot easier.
What do you hope to go with this?
I hope to do as best I can, go to junior worlds and like that and such.
What attracted you to this?
I just enjoyed it, really doing it and just trying it out and having fun.
Now, Riley is scheduled to be on the world stage later this year. And joining us on the set now, 3 members of the Lanier Canoe and Kayak Club just hosted the National Regatta. Well, you've already seen this guy. We've featured an interview with him earlier, Chris Miller, but he came by the studio as well. Alex McLean, who's new to the group, more or less, and Ben Hefner, that we've already had on before as well. Now, Chris, we did not know it when you had raced because that was really the first final of the day. Mm-hmm. And, of course, the team importance was paramount, but fell a little shy to Gig Harbor again, so that's their 3rd championship in a row, I think, as far as the team championship.
Yes, it is. It's kind of sad, but I think the team did really good.
Well, early on, you were pretty much dominating things. But then I guess, Ben, they had a lot more than maybe the younger guys and gals, and that sort of put them over the top, right?
Right, in the juvie and junior age groups, they had a lot more than us in the finals.
And you tell me the margin of victory was, what, like 30 points?
Only 30
Oh,
points.
after all these hundreds of competitors, that's a little hard, isn't it, huh?
It is, but
Well,
you race hard.
it is what it is. You know, sometimes that's what sports teaches you. Tell me a little bit about, I know we had you after the first race. What all did you do in the regatta this past weekend?
In the 1,000-meter event, I won every race I was in, the K1, the K2, and the K4, with Stanton Collins, Aaron Mulliken, and Tommy Wade. And then in the 200-meter events and the 5K, I took second in all of them.
All right. Well, Alex, I got to ask you now, how long have you been doing this sort of thing, and what got you interested in participating here locally?
Yeah, so I started out as an ocean kayaker, actually.
Ocean kayaker?
Yeah, in the coast of Maine, and it's far away from here, and it's a bit colder, and I heard about this Olympic dream, and I knew there was a club that was really helping a lot of young athletes do that down here. And, I decided I had to give it a shot, so I moved down here about 3 years ago, and it's been life-changing. It's been awesome and really helping me get to my goals.
So you moved here specifically for this?
Yeah, I am here for kayaking.
How's the difference? What is the difference in paddling in the open ocean and traveling in a venue like this?
It's much different, with ocean there's a lot more texture in the water, so you think of it a lot more strategy versus flat water kayaking. It's all fitness, it's how fast can you go, how fast can you get to the finish line. It's a lot of brute force and strength.
No, so how did you do? Tell me the races that you did this
past
regatta.
I competed in 6 races, I think. I did the K4 with my teammates, Macy Dwyer, Kanie Ash, and Chelsea Smith. And then I did K2 and 3 different K1 distances.
Okay. How'd you do?
Pretty well. I won 3 of those. My K4, I'm very happy to say, won, and then I won a couple of the K1 distances as well, the singles. So.
And the other one you finished, what? Did you finish in the medals?
I got, second.
Second? Well, okay. That's not bad. Second in the nation. That's not bad at all. Now, Ben, you're a canoeist, canoe specialist. How did you tell me how your regatta went?
It went pretty well. I've been specializing in the shorter sprints, the 200-meter, over the last couple of years, and I did well in those events. Took gold in the C2 in both 1,000 and 200, and then silver in the C1 by less than a tenth of a second.
Wow.
And then for the C4 1,000 also gold.
Cool. Now, you've been overseas several times, right? How does it compare to on the world stage to when you at your nationals now? It's a more of a hometown feeling, obviously,
Yes.
but there's some good people in the national events too.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously, I did get second in the 200. So
Right.
It's definitely competition, but not near the level that there is in the world, of course. So nationals does feel more relaxed, more fun, more chill than a world event, but it's still serious.
How do you? I want you all to talk a little bit about this with me. How does it benefit to be on a team and have your teammates around you, helping you train, helping you, get your boats ready and or whatever, and encouraging you as you race? Chris?
Well, training with other people helps you push yourself. If you're by yourself, you look at your GPS and you say, okay, I'm going this pace, but when it comes down to a race, it's completely different. You have to look at your competitors and you have to race them. It's good to push with your teammates.
Mm-hmm.
They make you better.
And you said you moved down here specifically for this, so the advice that they've given you must be really something.
Absolutely. I was training by myself before I moved down here, and you can really only get to one level when you're training by yourself. You really need that competitive edge, and to have other women fighting for the same spots makes you push twice as hard.
Not to mention, Ben, the fact that some of these races are not individual races. You actually are on a quote-unquote team of 2 or 4 people, right?
That's right. If you train by yourself, you don't have anybody to train with for team boats. That's for sure.
Well, I find that even with my powerlifting, you're right. People push you and cheer for you, and that psychological thing of having somebody rooting for you, that's got to help too, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely. The team support is a big part of it. Being able to know that if you have a problem, you have someone else who's going through the same thing that you are, if not something extremely similar, that you can talk to about. They can help you get through any sort of issues you have.
Mm-hmm. All right. Aspirations. Now, Chris, you've got some Olympic aspirations, I understand. True?
Yes, I would like to go to Rio in 2016, but we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be training for it. I'm going to try to make it.
What you got coming up?
We have Pan American Championships in, I believe, 5 weeks in Mexico City.
Mm-hmm.
I'll travel down there, and I'll be racing K2 with Stanton Collins, and I believe 3 distances: the 1,000 meter, the 500 meter, and the 200 meter.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Alex? What you got going on?
Yeah, same thing.
Really?
All 3 of us are actually going to Pan Am's in about a month.
Cool.
Yeah, we're excited for that. And so I'll be racing the K2 as well in the 200 meter and the 1,000 meter and the K4 event in the 500 meter.
So you obviously, Ben, you got along on the same team, but what got you? I mean, what do you get out of this sport other than the ability to go fast in a canoe?
Well, the world travel, the opportunity to go all over the world and see the way different people live and meet different people and make connections all over the world is the biggest thing I can think of, other than the personal progress you see in yourself through doing the sport. It teaches you valuable life skills, matures you. It's just a all-around good experience.
Mm. Well, I guess now the goal is, though, although it's not going to be back here next year, that's going to be somewhere else. You got to get that national championship back. I mean, you guys are used to winning national championships. Let me tell you what, the only thing about second is it's better than third, right?
Very true.
All right. Listen, no, we've got you. We also interviewed one of your teammates, Riley Bruner. Now, Riley's got some stuff going on too at the Worlds, doesn't he? At the world level, Slovakia, I understand.
Yes, he's headed to Slovakia for the Olympic hopes regatta.
Well, and that's important, isn't it, to get the juniors involved, the young kids and the teenagers, because you've all been there and done that. Now you're old guys, you're old hands at all of this, huh?
Yeah.
They've been doing it for a while. Well, this is a legacy that they've have left over from the '96 Olympic Games, which is still paying dividends.
Definitely.
All right, Chris, thanks for coming in. Good to see you again. Alex, pleasure to meet you. Ben, always good to see you.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll have more Hall County sports for you in just a moment. You've decided it's time to get in shape. Now let Falcon Parkway Fitness in Flowery Branch help you achieve your goal. Open since 2000, Falcon Parkway Fitness features free weights, exercise machines, group fitness classes, as well as personal training in a fun family environment with childcare, lockers, showers, and 24-hour access. Come by for a free consultation with a certified personal trainer. And just next door, check out Optimum Body Care Day Spa with massage, facials, and waxing, or K. Michael Salon for hair and nail care. Falcon Parkway Fitness is your hometown family gym, located in Flowery Branch, right behind the public shopping center. We're back here on the set of Hall County Sports Television. Joining us now is Rob Bruce, the pastor at McEver Road United Methodist Church, where we have our studios here at Hall County Sports. And Rob, today we'll talk a little bit about missions.
That's right, Gary. You know, recent research has shown that the reason 30-year-old and unders don't go to church is because the church is not really doing what it's supposed to do. Not all churches are that way, and McEver especially is not that way. In fact, I just returned from a week Redbird Valley, Kentucky, which is the poorest county in the country, where we just sent a team of 17 people up there to work and help those people there. But we do a lot of local things too. Good News at Noon. We've adopted a local nursing home. We provide a ministry to the international students at Brenau University and some other things like that. And if that is an interest to you, that you want to get outside the walls of the church and do what Jesus said to do for the least of these, well, we've got a place for you here.
All right. Rob, thank you very much for coming in. We'll see you in church on Sunday.
See you Sunday, Gary.
We're back. I'm Gary Glenn, and this is Hall County Sports. Well, the high school football season, believe it or not, is fast approaching, and one of the more successful programs locally here in recent years, and in fact statewide, is that of the Gainesville Red Elephants. They won the 5A state championship, you may remember, back in 2012, and in 2013, this past season, they went to the semifinals and lost to the eventual state runner-up, Tucker. Well, it has been a busy summer for the Crimson Herd and Coach Bruce Miller, and Bruce has taken time out from a very busy schedule to join us here on the show. And Bruce, first of all, thanks for coming in.
Well, thanks for having me.
Well, talk to me about the summer. I know you said that you had a little family time, but mostly it's been lots of football. So, I mean, I guess that means passing camps and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, yes. Any more in the summer, if you take some time off, the people are catching you. But we went to 4 or 5 7-on-7 tournaments where our kids did exceptionally well. We've been to West Georgia to team camp, to defensive camp down there, and now we're back and we're settled into our preseason routine, practicing each day and trying to get weightlifting in. And school starts here Thursday, and so once that starts, everything starts.
Well, the GHSA mandates pretty closely now what you can do and when you can do it, right?
Yes.
So what is the schedule like now? When can you start actually practicing pads and so forth?
Okay, your first 3 days, the last week of July, which led into the 1st of August, you got to spend 3 days what they call an acclimation period, where only thing you can put on is helmets and practice. And so we did that. Now we're in shoulder pads, and we could put on pants, but we don't practice in full pads very often. And but our kids, we're full go right now, full go and going at it just as hard as we can, trying to get ready for that first game.
You know, things have changed a little bit, Bruce, haven't they? I mean, as far as the approach. Used to, we put the pads on as soon as we could, full pads, and started knocking heads. And you just don't do that much anymore. I think we've rethought a lot of things, haven't we? About wearing people out, getting hurt, and things like that.
I think the colleges and the pros have been somebody for us to look at and kind of gauge what we can do and what we can't do. We have spent quite a bit of time of talking to other high schools in different states and trying to get a clue of what they did. We go hard off of what Burns High School does, and we very seldom put on full pads until game night. We just try to keep our kids off our legs and keep those injuries away from our lower extremities.
Well, everybody, of course, is going to be asking you this question over and over. How do you replace Deshaun Watson? And I've said to myself, you don't replace Deshaun Watson. Already competing for a starting job at Clemson University as a freshman. Now, he may not get it this year, but he's going to put some pressure on people. I know that. But you know what? I've also said many times on the air, I said, if Mikey Gonzalez is at any other school in this county, he's a starting quarterback just about. And he's a good athlete because I've seen him play baseball. I know he's ready to step in. He's kind of paid his dues now. So tell me about the outlook for the Elephants as far at that position at least.
Well, I tell you, Mikey has had a great summer for us. We've been in 7-on-7 tournaments, and he has done a great job of leading us and guiding us. He's done a very good job of leading and guiding us, and he has had a great preseason. The job's his. It's kind of like the stout guy in front of Deshaun at Clemson is his to lose. I don't think Mikey will lose it. Mikey is so smart, and he was in every meeting with Deshaun the last 3 years, so he knows everything Deshaun knows, if not more. And I think he's going to do a great job for us.
Well, of course, he's not going to be the only bullets that you got in the gun over there. I mean, you graduated some talent, of course, but, the Red Elephants have always got people waiting in the wings because you're a premier program now. So tell me a little bit about the rest of the team. What do you look like this year?
Well, I think we're going to be, of course, Mike Bird returns at running back, which is a key for us. Rodney Lackey returns at one of the inside receivers. Messiah Dorsey's at the other. Chris Williamson's at one of the other receivers. Todrick Turner is our ex-receiver. So we've got people in place that can play. We've got people in place that, it'd be Mikey's job to deal the cards, to deal the ball out to people that can make plays and get us in the right plays and get us and make sure we're not in a wrong play. And with him and Michael Perry, who's running our offense, they do a good job of getting those things done.
Also has a little bit of shake-up on your coaching staff, didn't you? Had some folks that come and go, don't they?
Yeah, well, you hope when you have a program like ours that people are leaving for better things. And Coach Pavo left and went to Fannin County to be a head coach. And
there you go.
We were able to bring back an old Red Elephant, Steve Wilson, from years past. Steve had been college coaching for a while and just decided he wanted to come back to Gainesville High School.
Really?
We're excited.
I know that. And I think John Thompson is back with you, too.
John Thompson's back with us. We added John and Steve to the coaching staff with what was already there, and we feel like we've got a good coaching staff.
Great. We talked a little bit about the offense because obviously that's, when you replace an all-everything quarterback like Deshaun Watson, that garners a great deal of attention. What's your defense looking like this year, Bruce?
Well, we elevated Wayne Jones to our defensive coordinator, who was our secondary coach, and he has done a great job of putting together a bunch of folks that will run and hit you. We bring back linebacker J.D. Sosby, who was our leading tackler last year. We moved Chris Bird down to inside linebacker, which gives us 2 great inside linebackers. Lewis Cousins comes back at its safety position, who's been a 3-year starter for us. So we feel like we've got the people in place and Jamel Dabney up front and Cash Jones up front. So we returned 5 starters on each side of the ball. But with those kids that weren't starters, they played a lot last year anyway, and so we feel very fortunate about them.
What's the region looking like?
If I were making a bet right now, I'd just toss it up in the air and see what happens, because I really don't know. I was talking to John Ward over at Clark Central last spring, and he said, I just don't know. He said, I don't know who's got the team. I think there's 4 or 5. Flowery Branch will be in there. Clark Central, Cedar Shoals will be in there. I tell you, the team to watch is out of Conyers at Heritage High School right now. I think they're the one that's had a lot of young players last year. If they get all those guys back, I think they could be a force to handle.
Well, now, as I said before in my intro to the piece, you're gearing up for competition, and it's fast approaching. It really is fast approaching. You got a scrimmage game on the 15th?
15th.
Wow.
At White County.
At White County. Well, at least you get a chance to see what you got against somebody with a different color shirt on. And you open for real with
Grayson.
At Grayson?
At Grayson.
On the 29th.
29th.
Wow. Excited, Bruce?
Oh,
Do
yeah.
you still get pumped up for that? I mean, you've been doing this forever.
When I don't get pumped up for it, it'll be time to get out
There
of
you
it.
go.
I get just as excited out there watching us get better and better each day than I did 25 years ago.
All right, Bruce Miller. Thanks for coming in, brother.
Thanks.
Good luck to the Red Elephants this year. Bruce Miller, Gainesville High School. Now, the colleges are also gearing up, including local athletes who came home over the summer. Now they're back at school getting ready for all of that. We'll feature one of those young men when Hall County Sports continues.
Turner Wood & Smith is with you every step of the way. Established in the Gainesville area in 1905, Turner Wood & Smith has become Northeast Georgia's largest independent insurance agency by offering professional service at competitive prices. Turner Wood & Smith, insuring your future since 1905.
We're back. I'm Gary Glenn. This is Hall County Sports. Well, in addition to the high schools getting ready for the high school football season, getting their summer workouts into high gear now as they prep for the opening of the season, a lot of our Hall County folks have been home over the summer, and they've been preparing for their college football seasons. We bring to the show now alumnus of West Hall High School, Blake Manning, and Blake is getting ready to go back to Stetson College down in Florida. So how's it been just to be home for a while now?
It's been good to be home. I mean, I miss the whole environment there. It's been a great experience learning all the new things and about living on my own and personal responsibility. But it's been good to come home, get a couple of home-cooked meals. But I'm ready to get back to school as well.
All right. Tell me about your first year at Stetson. Now, you saw a lot of playing time, didn't you?
Yes, sir. I started most of the years, mainly the second half. When I first got down there, it was a little bit of an adjustment for me. But as the year went on, I kind of got into the rhythm of it, and I actually began to I improved a lot from when I first got there, and I was able to get a starting position most of the second half of the season.
Offensive line.
Yes, sir. Right guard.
Right guard. Okay. Now, in college, right guard, you got to be pretty mobile. So,
yes, sir.
Did you get into that a little bit, huh?
Yes, sir. In high school, I was a tackle, which was what I thought I was going to play in college, and I mean, I really like tackle, but as I started to play right guard, I began to realize, this position's more fit for my sort of skill set, and I really began to enjoy right guard. And I mean, it's just, I feel like you get to hit more people right guard, and it's more fun to me now than what I remember playing tackle in high school.
Now, Blake, I'm always told by the people that once you get from one level to the next, the biggest difference is the speed at which things happen. Is that where you found it?
Yes, that's what I was talking about, the adjustment mainly. It was a very, at first it was like an overwhelming sort of thing for me because everything was so much faster. But as I adjusted to it, it became actually more fun than what I remember playing in high school.
Plus, everybody's good.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you don't get to play at the next level unless you're pretty good. What have you been doing this summer? How do you get ready? What's your summer workout look like?
This summer I've been down at Bodyplex down in Buford, and I've been working out there. I've also been working out with another trainer, Terry, and I've been doing some stuff with him, and I've been working out pretty hard over. So I've been running at West Hall as well on the track and in the field.
So it's running and weights and the whole bit?
Yes, sir.
Now, do you have a set regimen? I don't. That's a silly question. I'm sure you do. They tell you what you need to do, don't they?
Yes, sir. We have a workout packet. That's what I've been doing.
So now you get ready to get back to it.
Yes, sir.
What's the first couple of days going to be like when you get back?
The first couple of days is probably just training. Physical, like physicals and stuff, and some paperwork. But we'll probably we'll do like our conditioning tests and workouts within the first couple of days. And after all that's over, we'll start practicing. We start in helmets, and then after a couple of days, we'll be in full pads.
You've been doing this a long time, son. Is it still fun to you?
It's still fun. To me, in college, I thought it would be the same as high school, but in college, the level of competitiveness has increased a little bit, and for that reason, I think college is actually a little bit more fun than it was in high school.
But you're out on your own. You mentioned that in your previous remarks. You said, I'm out on my own. I got to learn to organize your time. That has to be part of the experience as well,
yes,
right?
I definitely had to learn how to organize my time. It was, our schedule is, you have to have a certain time for everything. So you had in college, of course, you have to devote more time to homework. So you gotta find out when to do homework, when to sleep, when to eat, what to eat. It was just it took a little bit of time to get used to, but I think it's a good skill that I was able to learn.
I got to ask you before you get out of here now. How was the team last year, and how are you going to be this year as far as
last year
accomplishment-wise?
As our first season in over 50 years, we went. It's not nearly as good as we wanted to. We went 3-7, but this year we're hoping to win a lot more games, and our goal is to win the region title.
All right, and you as a sophomore, you feel like you're ready to contribute
Yes,
even more.
Yes, sir. I feel like I'm ready to step up in the leadership position and take a role as a starter on the team.
All right. And also, you have to look back at last year at West Hall.
Mm-hmm.
Did that make you feel pretty good as an alumnus with all the success they had?
I was watching down the floor most of the games. I was keeping up with everything. I was really excited how they're improving. I really think they have a really good chance to win the region title next year, and hopefully they can go on to do more than that.
Well, maybe it'll be a region title for the Hatters as well as for the Spartans. That'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it?
Yes, sir.
All right, Blake Manning, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Good luck down in Florida, all right,
Thank
with
you,
the Stetson football team. I'm Gary Glenn, back with more Hall County sports in just a moment.
Mountain View Auto Repair is your local full-service auto repair shop. Trusted with your vehicles for over 20 years, our experience will ensure that your vehicle will stay well-maintained year-round. You can trust our experts in everything from transmissions to brakes to engine repairs and oil changes. So visit owner Danny Hammock and his staff of professionals at 3365 Mountain View Road in Gainesville, or give them a call at 770-535-7278. That's Mountain View Auto Repair for your complete auto service.
Gary Glenn back to wrap up this week's show now. Thanks again to all of our guests that we had, both on location and in the studio. But, one thing we did not mention during the Lanier Canoe and Kayak interview on the Paddling National Championships is that the paddling sports also have divisions for athletes with disabilities. That's all kind of cool. Well, anyway, it was a good meet for Gainesville pole vaulter Hunter Mallard at the recent U.S. Track and Field Junior Olympic meet in Humboldt, Texas. That's near Houston. Hunter, who has finished second at regionals and seventh in the Georgia State meet in Class 5A, set a personal record of 12.7.5 and tying for 16th out of the 34 competitors at these nationals. Now, he's only been vaulting for this year, by the way. And finally, congratulations to 1995 Gainesville High School graduate Stephanie Yaram Ransom. She was a pioneer along with her teammates at the University of Georgia on the first women's soccer team there, by the way. She's going into the Georgia Circle of Honor along with 10-time national gymnastics champ Suzanne Yocklin, an All-American football player and longtime University of Georgia assistant football coach Steve Greer. Stephanie, by the way, still holds the school record for winning goals with 15, with a national best of 8 in the 1997 season at UGA. That year she totaled 18 goals, which is still the University of Georgia record in a single season. Along the way, she also garnered first-team All-SEC and All-America honors as she finished with 28 career goals and 67 points, third in the school history. That's our show for this week. Join us next week right here for more Hall County Sports. I'm Gary Glenn.